Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Inspo Pods with me. Today's a really exciting one because I really want to talk about my career change. And it's been a big thing at the end of 2025, and I really feel like it's aligned with like my healing journey, and it's also aligned with like my and health in all forms, really, like my body, my mind, all of this kind of stuff. Um, And basically, long story short, I worked in events. Those of you that have listened to this podcast before or that know me know that I've worked in events for many, many years in different capacities. But I have essentially given up my career, for want of a better word, to pursue something completely different. Um, and to, at the moment, chill a little bit and get to a good place, I guess, in life. So, yeah, it's been a really exciting. It's been really exciting. 2025 did not expect it to end that way. Um, 2026, I'm excited for what this year is going to hold. And I'm excited for what the future looks like, particularly with the opportunities that might arise from this job that I'm doing. So I really want to share this with you. I really want to share the journey with you, from the get-go, really, and explain what I do, how it's evolved, and what the goal is. So let's go back to it. So I was working in stressful events industry, doing promotional events, marketing, that kind of thing. Um, and my job for the last sort of 6 years was predominantly in the staffing area of events. I've done other things. I've done event management. I've done on-site management. Um, I've done a bit of marketing, logistics, promotions, lots of different things. But predominantly, most of my jobs were in staffing, which, or some of my jobs had a variety of things, and the main part of the job was staffing. So, worked for various agencies and companies, and it's a very stressful job. And I spent most of my daily working life either sat at a desk in an office or sat at home with a laptop. And I used to think working from home was the absolute flex, can't lie. I used to be like, oh my God, I get to work from home 3 days a week. How amazing. And get to be at home, do my life admin. That means I get time for the gym. It means I don't have to travel. It means I have time with people I live with, etc., etc. Little did I know that it's not the flex. I know work from home has its benefits, but it's really just not the flex. You end up not having time for the gym because you're stressed, or you don't have time to get out of your pajamas for the morning and then you're scrambling to get ready at lunchtime, or you're trying to eat at your desk. So you're eating your breakfast, lunch, sometimes even dinner at your laptop. And you're bringing your work into your home space, which I don't enjoy personally. Personally, I like to keep the two separate. I like my home space to be my home space. And I didn't realize until I left a stressful industry working on a laptop how much I appreciate my home space to not have work in it. Does that make sense? I didn't realize how much I needed that. And I always thought, like, oh, it's fine. Like, I work on my work laptop in my bedroom or the living room. Then I just close it at 6 and then I go onto my personal laptop and it's different. It's not different. I was constantly having that stress in my living space. Um, and it's only since changing career completely that I've discovered I don't really want that. It's not enjoyable for me. It's not something that works well for me personally. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of glad about that, to be honest. And I miss working in offices with amazing people. I miss working with like great visionaries and like amazing teams. But the stress was not for me. The working from home was not really for me. And I had a bad back all the time from like sitting on a laptop. I wasn't getting enough steps in. I wasn't getting to the gym enough because even though I thought working from home would give me more time for the gym, it didn't. You'd be like, oh my God, I've got an hour for lunch, and you're panicking, thinking, are people wondering where I am? Do I need to be back on time? You'd go have your lunch break. By the time you've walked to the gym and back, you've nearly had your lunch break anyway, and then you're scrambling trying to cook with your work laptop in the kitchen. just chaos, like just not for me personally. It works for some people, but and it did work for me to an extent, but just it's not, I don't thrive that way. It's not giving aligned, perfect life for me. Um, and I think I realized that even more after I made the change rather than realizing it all before. I kind of knew, but once I made the change, I realized even more how I felt. So that was enlightening. Um, so towards the end of last year, a few months before the end of 2025, I I'd been freelancing for over a year, right? Freelancing between different companies, different agencies, like being there when they needed me, getting paid a day rate. Day rates were not always great. A lot of agencies I worked with, although they were amazing, either couldn't afford to pay me a day rate or didn't want to pay me a day rate that I was worthy of. Um, and it was just quite, I don't know, really. I was on like a lot more money than what I'm on now, but it didn't feel like enough and it didn't feel like it was worth the stress. So I actually started working in a coffee van. And this is where the excitement comes. This is what I want this episode to be about. Because I want to tell you how my day to day goes and what the goal is. Um, and I get paid probably just two-thirds of my daily rate of what I was paid before. But I just feel so chill that it's like so worth it. And I have so much free time that I am able to hit my fitness goals. I am able to hit my steps. I am able to do my own work in the evenings on my podcast, on my brand. That's the other thing I want to talk about in a bit is the brand. Um, because I have more free time and I'm not stressed. I don't bring my stress home. My stress isn't in my home anymore. I'm so content. I'm so relaxed. I'm so happy. Um, it's probably the best thing I ever did. Every day I get up in the morning, 6:45, 7:40, I take the little walk, 20-minute walk to Brixton to a little coffee van with my little keys. I unlock, I set up, takes me about 3 minutes to set up, 4 minutes maybe. Always have my laptop with me so I can do my own thing while I'm there. And I just serve coffee until 3, 8 till 3 every day, Monday to Thursday. It's amazing. Um, and when it's quiet, I can record TikToks, record Instagrams, record content for my podcast, for my brand. And when it's not quiet, I get to chat to people. And I've got so many regulars because I'm near a building. I'm basically within a building, within the outdoor bit of a building where loads of people work. And it's like creative industries and stuff like that. And people from the outside can come in and get coffee. But most of my customers are the regulars from the building. And I get to just chat to them all day. I've made some amazing friends and learnt so much about coffee. And it's just so good. So yeah, that's my day to day. And then Friday to Sunday, I'm free to fill up with events and I do different work here and there. And I've basically decided that I want to be doing three things with my life. I want to be doing my podcast because I want to inspire people. And that's where my heart lies. That's where my passion is. And I want to have a brand of feminist gifts, which I have started. It needs a bit more money putting into it. It needs a little bit more of a kickstart, but I'm super happy with what I have so far. It just is really, really is a work in progress. And I used to think, oh my God, I have to be ready. I have to have like 50 products. I have to like be super organized. I have to have all this stuff ready. I have to do this and this and this and this and that and that and that. You don't. Best advice I can give you, which I've had with the podcast and with that brand, is just start. Just start. Just have an idea and just start. Just do something. And sorry, I need to clear my neck. um, and once you started, it will evolve and it will just take shape. Like, I love that. So that's my first two things. Then the third thing I want to do is I want to have my own van. And I haven't decided how this is going to look yet, but working in a coffee van has been so enlightening for me and so fulfilling. And I've always had a passion for events and I've always wanted to be at live events. And that's always been where my passion has been. And when I do my freelance stuff and I do my promotional work, aside from the coffee van, I'm always working for other people. I'm always under strict instructions. I have to take a photo of myself when I arrive. I have to arrive 15 minutes early. I have to do this. I have to do that. My breaks are determined by whoever's on site. My toilet breaks are determined by whoever's on site. And I'm very much as it should be, because there needs to be a level of control when you're dealing with people. A lot of the time, they're hiring freelancers that they don't necessarily know, like myself. They don't know my work ethic. They don't know that I don't need to be micromanaged. So it's within their interest to have control of the situation. Fully understand. Um, but that being said, me as a 35-year-old self-employed woman who has quit working for other people so that she can just manage something alone and work on her own stuff, I feel like I need the freedom. I will work my ass off 12 hours a day if it's for myself, and it won't feel like work. And I'll really, if I can have my own toilet breaks and my own food breaks and that kind of thing, I really feel like I'm happy. You know, simple things, guys, simple things. And so I really want to take the concept of a food or drinks van to festivals, events, all of that kind of thing, and build my own brand that way. And that's really where I've decided that my heart is going to lie in 2026. And I really just feel like, in a weird way, it's a real full circle moment. I don't know how I've got here and why it's taken me so long to get here, but I don't regret a second of it. And I think every part of the journey is necessary and has been necessary and is really freaking important for where I'm going next. I think it's all for a reason, you know? And I think when I started event management at university in 20, when did I go to uni again? I went twice, and the second time, I think I went in 2021, second time round. And yeah, that sounds about right. And I graduated in 2026, I believe. And when I did that, my focus of my studies was always festivals and events. Some people specialized in corporate events, and I know that's where a lot of the money is for a lot of people. I've worked in venues before, selling event spaces, selling venues, and for a lot of people, corporate is where it's at because they know they've got the money. Corporate companies have the money, so it's an easy sell. It's like, oh yeah, 50 grand to hire this space for 2 days, blah blah blah, done. It's a lot easier to get that money over the line, and if you're on commission as well, the commission's a lot easier. Like if money is your motivation, corporate's where it's at, 100%, 150%. And then other people specialize in like logistics or religious events. Like there's so many different avenues. And some people wanted to go big and like actually set up their own events and like be in charge of their own festival, their own this, their own that. Me personally, I always wanted to like go into the festivals and celebration events market and like food and drink festivals. And weirdly, when I look back across all of my previous jobs, there really is like a weird link between all of them. And it's really interesting looking back at this stuff and being like, oh wow. So then when I was at uni, I worked at festivals for fun because I love going to them and I wanted a free ticket, right? And quite often I would work for like food trucks or bars or whatever at the festivals. And then like since then I've done a lot of promotional work in the same fields. And then a lot of my jobs that I've done in venues, selling venues, selling event spaces, and even within staffing, there's been a lot of food and drink involved, and I've always geared towards that side of things and really enjoyed that side of things. Um, I'm someone that's always been intrigued and interested in like food and drinks and offering people that kind of stuff. I've always had my food and hygiene certificate up to date. I've always wanted to have a personal license, like, and it kind of just seems like a bit of a theme running through. And I've kind of gone off path, as it were, a little bit. And then I feel like I've like randomly kind of like steered back onto the right path. And I really just feel like this is where it's going to go, and this is the right time for me. I'm going to be 36 this year, 2026, and I just feel it's the right time. I always wanted a cafe of my own, I always went to coffee shop, and that is still a goal, but I have bigger plans for that, and I need a lot more money for that. And I think I've now found an interim step between what I'm currently doing, which pays me very little, and the end goal, which is a cafe venue hosting poets, singers, a book corner, beers and canned cocktails in the evening. Like that whole thing, that's the pipe dream. And I'm glad I've got that now. I never really had a pipe dream. It's so funny when I was younger, it's like everyone was like, "What's the dream?" And I was like, "Don't really know. I just know I just want to do my own thing." But what does that mean? What does that look like? What is your own thing? And it's so funny because I never really knew. Like some people are like, "I want to be a singer. I want to be a dancer." They're so certain and they're so set on it. And I just never really had that in my brain. Whereas now I know exactly what I want my life to look like. And to have my own venue and like cafe in the amazing coffee culture in London really is my goal, but I need more experience. I need more money. It's that's the end goal for me. And I know that I also have another goal, actually, and guys, just to like off track again, is to be a therapist on the side, because that I think would be beautiful. But again, that's something I want to do when I'm older, and I think I need more life experience. I need more money experience, business experience, people experience, life experience, traveling experience. Like there's so much more that life has to offer. I feel so young. I don't feel 36. There's so many more raves to go to. So many more people to be friends with, like so many more people to meet. There's just so much more in life before I reach that. And I think it's really nice to have a goal of what you want to do when you're older. A lot of people are just like in their job now and they're like, well, I'm going to do this until I don't know when. And they've no clear idea of like what life will look like when they're older. Whereas I feel like I do, whether it happens, whether there's a spanner in the works, whether it goes off path again, I don't know, but I know what I want it to look like. And that is my own venue, managing that, being involved for the first few years day to day, loving it, being there all the time, and then eventually stepping back a bit and like reaping the rewards a little bit, having a comfortable life, not necessarily being rich, because I know hospitality is a struggle, but like having a comfortable life and then doing therapy as well to make more money, which I can then do when I'm older. So being a therapist online or through the phone is something you can do as an older person, and it requires less physical demand on your body, you know? So that I feel like is the real goal. But I think I've now got a real clear idea of where I want to get to, where I want to go before that. And that is a food or drinks truck, food or drinks van. And I'm so excited. And I'm so excited to share that with everyone. And I would love for anyone listening to like, if anyone's got any ideas, to like pitch them in, let me know if anyone does that already, or anyone's got one already, they're already doing that and they need someone to come and help, you know, someone that can freelance and work with them whenever. I'm that person, let me know. I'm in London. I can travel. I would love that. Um, I would love as well. I mean, men, obviously, I'm always open to, but like, I don't discriminate. But I would love to support more female-owned businesses as well. So if there's any women out there that are like, oh, I actually have a champagne truck that I go to weddings and I do this and I do that, and I need someone that can manage it when on days when I can't, or I need someone that can, you know, be my second person when I've got a really big event. I'm kind of looking for someone that has that passion and, you know, is happy to not be paid a fortune, but happy to be there and learn. Please reach out to me because that is my absolute goal and that really is where I'm at in life. Um, so that's exciting. So get in touch. But also, I guess if anyone's got any, like, if anyone wants advice from me on how to step back from a career or how to change career and how to like navigate that with the people around you as well, because a lot of people are like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? They don't understand. Please reach out to me because I have loads of advice. Um, I think the main thing to share on here in terms of advice is to always like have a clear idea of who you are as a person. I think I speak about this in every episode. I know it gets fucking boring, guys. It really does get boring. But like have a clear idea of who you are, have a clear idea of what you want. And when you know those things and you've figured those things out, it's so much easier to know what you want to do and to back yourself in it and to back yourself with other people because you know who you are and you know what you're doing it for. I, in therapy, quite often we would do this little task where it would be like questions about what motivates you in life, what makes you happy, what like makes you unhappy. I can't remember the questions, but it's like this little quiz. And I can't remember the end goal of it, but we would do it quite a lot. And it was quite often like these kind of like life questions about like how you feel and your thoughts on different things. And I would always come to like from this that my motivation was never money. My motivation in life, not just in career, but just in life in general, is not money. Um, my motivation is not necessarily family. I'm not really a family person in terms of I'm not super close to my family and I don't necessarily want a big family of my own. Like my independence is more important to me. And again, that's different. Some people it's money, some people's family, some people have other things. But for me, it was always helping people and like having a space for people to feel like themselves and to progress the world in a way of like helping women, helping feminism, helping equality, helping the world in some way be a better place, whether that's helping like 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, whatever it looks like, that is like what motivates me. So I think once you know what motivates you and once you know what aligns with your soul, and it's different for everyone, it's so much easier to then think, okay, well, how does that align with my work? How does that align with my career? Am I doing something that, speaks to that and nourishes my needs and my desires? And once you've figured that out, then you can figure out what you want to do. And you just got to go for it. And then once you've done that, it's so much easier to justify that to other people, to family, to friends, to whoever. Because if you don't know what you're doing it for and you don't have your goals and you don't have your reasons, reasons are the most important, then how are you going to justify it to anyone? Do you know what I mean? So that would be my biggest bit of advice is just like figure out what you want, like figure out who you are and what aligns with you and your goals. And then the rest just comes so much easier. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good. I really am excited. And it's funny because I used to think like it was such a low effort, like low, how do I explain this? Like a job that's like too easy almost. And I used to think like, oh my God, serving coffee, it's way too easy. It's way below me. Like my brain is so switched on, like I can do so much more. Not in a big headed way, but like I've always been academic. I know I'm capable of more than just serving coffee to people, right? But then I realized that actually, if you're doing your own thing and you have your own business, you get to use your brain for all of that stuff, like whether it's a makeup brand or you have your own coffee van or whatever, like whatever you have, and there's a business element to it and you're self-employed and you have your own thing, you're going to be using your brain. And I also realized that like we don't all have to do these big fucking high title, high salary jobs to be happy. That's the biggest thing I've taken away from the last few years is like the misconception that I need a big title, I need to be in a big company, I need a big career plan, I need a big salary. All of those things are what's gonna make me look good. And what I've learned in dating and friendships and everything is that actually the people around you, especially the people that care about you or are interested in you, are so much fucking more impressed by you doing something that aligns with you than by having a big title. When I've dated and I've been like, oh, I'm a senior staffing and marketing manager, and it's really stressful. People are not, they don't really care that much, if I'm honest. They're like, oh yeah, that's cool. But it kind of like you bypass it. And when I say I've started my own little brand and I manage a coffee van and I'm just really chill, I'm really happy and really at peace, people are like, the right people, bearing in mind, are like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, that's amazing. And they want to know more. So it's like it really is a misconception about like job titles, job salaries, all this kind of stuff. And if you have a big title and a big salary and you're doing something you love and you're passionate about, and you convey that passion to people when you're talking, that's totally different. They're going to get it. They're going to be like, oh my God, this is who you are. Like, oh my God, you're smashing it. You're amazing. But for me personally, I didn't find that. And I just find the stress of it. It's just not me. Like, I don't want to be stressed for someone else. And I don't want to be stressed and being told what to do. Some people need structure and love being told what to do. I don't. I hate it. I want to be my own boss. I want to be self-employed. I want to be freelance. I want to have control over what I'm doing. And I remember once someone in my family said to me, "Oh, you just want to work for yourself because it's easier and you just don't want to be told what to do. You just don't like authority, you don't like being told, and you just want to do something easy and work less." And that is so not the case. When you're self-employed, you work your fucking ass off, especially if you have your own business, which I'm hoping to do, because you want it to go well, right? You want it to work, and you put every waking hour that you have mentally and physically spare to work on that. And when I say mentally, like sometimes you don't have the mental capacity, right, to give to that. Um, and sometimes you need to just chill. So we have to give that to ourselves, right? But when you have the mental capacity and the physical capacity to give time to your own business, you do. And I swear to God, you work harder for yourself than you will for anyone else. So that really stuck with me as well. Anyway, I'm rambling, but that is where I'm at with the job. That is where we're at with the career plan. I'm excited. It's going to be a good year. I really want to hear from people. I really want to hear from anyone that's doing something similar or has had a career change or is self-employed or has any advice for me or wants any advice from me. Um, yeah, email me, message me, comment on the podcast on Spotify, comment on YouTube. I will get back to you. I'm excited. We're in this together. Um, and just to finish on an ick, like I always do, that is one of my big icks, is when other people tell you what to do or tell you what they think and are like, you shouldn't do this. Oh, being self-employed is easy. Oh, you're only doing this because you want an easy life. Fuck off. Um, and also an ick of mine is like people doing things because they think they should or doing it for other people. No, 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 no. Like, let's remember why we're doing things and like, let's get back to being aligned with ourselves because life is way too fucking short. I hope you all have an amazing week. I hope you all find alignment. I hope you all figure out your goals. I hope you all have the next year of your life, whether you're listening to this in January 2026, December 2026, whether you're listening to this in the future in fucking 2029. Whenever you're listening to this, I hope the next year of your life, you give that to yourself to figure out who you are, what you want, and what you want your life to look like because you only get one. And that's it. And it's so freaking short. It really is. It's too freaking short to be stressed for the wrong reasons. If you're stressed because you're building your own brand, perfect. If you're stressed because, you've got a big family and that's what you wanted, perfect. There are good reasons to be stressed, right? If you're stressed for someone else and you don't want to be there and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, we don't want that. Get rid of that stress. So I wish you all a year of no stress, goals, alignment, happiness, and getting successful. And I really hope I get successful. Oh, I'm really excited to take you all on this journey with me. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Little song there from me. Working 9 to 5. No longer. I love it. I love it. Should we have a little sing along at the end? Come on, let's go. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. No, not for me. Right. Love and peace, everybody.